welcome to Hefsel Weekly. In this week's episode, we will talk about the ever-growing oppression in Iran and harsh measures implemented on the populace by their morality police, the latest reports from the war in Ukraine, the conflict in the Middle East, and the flood that hit Brazil's coastline a few days ago. So without further ado, let's get started. Colombian lawmakers have approved a bill to eradicate child marriage in the country after a collective effort from various organizations for 17 years. This was finally made possible after the officials closed the 137-year-old legal loophole. This was overall a massive problem for girls, as child marriage was 3 times more common among girls than it was for boys. This was especially common for people who lived in poor rural or indigenous communities. Despite decades of economic, industrial, and social development, the country was still plagued by this problem. The bill, created to eradicate child marriage, also indicated that education must be introduced to address the root causes of child marriage. The Iranian state has revealed its plans to open a treatment clinic for women who defy the mandatory hijab laws that require women to cover their heads in public. The head of the Women and Family Department of the Tehran headquarters for the promotion of virtue and prevention of vice, Talebi Darestani, was the first one to suggest the idea of a hijab removal treatment clinic, saying that it would provide scientific and psychological treatment for those who wish to remove their hijab. Many Iranian women and various organizations around the globe have expressed their outrage against this new proposition. A UK-based scientist and the target of an Iranian assassination attempt last year, Sima Sabet, has claimed that this move was shameful and that the idea of establishing clinics to cure unveiled women is chilling, where people are separated from society simply for not conforming to the ruling ideology. One young woman from Iran who spoke to The Guardian under the condition that she would stay anonymous said, "It won't be a clinic, it will be a prison. We are struggling to make ends meet and have power outages, but a piece of cloth is what this state is worried about. If there was a time for all of us to come back to the streets, it's now, or they'll lock us all up." President Donald Trump has appointed Elon Musk to co-lead the new Department of Government Efficiency, a unique entity aiming to streamline U.S. government operations. Musk, the world's richest man, will work alongside former Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy to direct the department, which will operate independently from traditional government agencies. This appointment comes after Musk's substantial financial support for Trump's campaign, highlighting the billionaire's growing influence in U.S. policy. A few weeks ago, it was confirmed that North Korea had sent over 10,000 soldiers to the Ukrainian border through Russian territory. Although this led to panic among the press at first, the situation seems to be under control. However, it is reported that more than 50,000 Russian and North Korean soldiers have been amassed on the border so far. The war will enter its third winter this December, and so far the stalemate has not been broken. The official Ukrainian record stated the Russian military has received more than 550,000 casualties as of November. A Paris prosecutor has called for a 5-year prison sentence, a fee of around 300,000 euros, and a 5-year ban from public office for Marine Le Pen, leader of the far-right National Rally or RN party, as she faces trial for allegedly embezzling EU funds alongside 24 others. This trial, nearly a decade in the making, could damage RN's efforts to improve its image ahead of the 2027 presidential election, where Le Pen is considered a strong contender. The allegations, if proven, would be a major setback for her political ambitions and the party's overall goals. Finally, we conclude this week's headlines. It was Hefsel Weekly, and as usual, thank you for listening. We hope to see you again next week at the same time and place.